Hello people, right, Bitcoin against the US dollar, all-time highs, and it is going great guns today. By the way, today is a Saturday, the markets are closed, and if you're wondering, you can trade cryptos at the weekends. This is a demo account on Hugo's Way, that's HUGOSWAY, Hugo's Way. And the point of this video is to show you something that I very rarely mention, and it is, sometimes I come back to my charts, we're on an H1 chart, and I'll see the situation here, massive momentum on the RSI histo alert, and we get this situation here where that's the bust, that's the pullback, and that's the break and close up on an H1 chart. Massively bullish day, and as you can see, you know, the ADR is monstrous today, but the point I wanted to make was that when you come back to, you know, if I've been away from the charts and I have a signal, you know, these are the bust, break and close signals I talk about: bust up, pull back, and break and close above the bust. It's not a very good example there, but I'm sure if you watch my videos and stuff, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is really skewed today because of the way this has moved here, so it's difficult to see. But the point I want to make, and it's quite an important point, is that if we come into a chart when you've got this scenario here, like I did today, and I took it on another account, but what we have here, we've had a trigger there. It's broken up, massive momentum, and we were here. The price was somewhere around here. If I can show you on the lower charts now, we know where we are with the new bar, and we know where we are in relation to the close of the previous bar with the trigger, and price had popped back. There you are. That's what we're looking at, this situation here. So we have not broken. If I put the high on that H1, and this is really quite important, and I rarely mention this, so I'm doing this in a rush, this video, before I go out, but I wanted to make sure it was brought to your attention. There is the high. Remember, we had the trigger, the massive momentum trigger, directly prior to this high. Then the price has pulled back. So what are we likely to get when we get a worthwhile trigger on the lower time frames? Say just a new momentum trigger or 3-candle reversal. You know, there's the high of the reversal candle there. So there's the trigger, momentum trigger, directly before that. We didn't actually have a reversal to the downside. That's important to mention too. So, you know, the 5-minute has made a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, that's an inside bar, lower low. I'm talking about the green one now, the red one was an inside bar. So what we want is a high, a low, a low, a high, inside bar again. This is really weird how it's done that twice. Higher high, higher low, and higher high. That tells us we have got a trend in place. We didn't have an uptrend in place. Let me zoom in. We did not have an uptrend in place at that point because you couldn't call a higher high. I'll do it again. Low, high, higher low. We haven't made a higher high yet. That is the break. You could quite safely enter the trade there. So there's two things massively important. At this point here, we'd had a trigger, remember, and this happens all the time, every other time frame, and I don't mention it. If ever you find yourself with a RSI break and bust and a wick, and it doesn't happen often, look, there's there, bust up, pull back, 3 bars lower than the high, finally get a break, there is no wick there. Can you see the difference? But in this one, when it busted up, it had pulled back, which gives us an absolutely, people used to call it a discounted entry. You know, it gives us a really, really good entry. Even if you only took it to test the high, the momentum's there. This isn't the best of triggers because of the volatility that's happened here. But under normal circumstances, if ever you find that situation, and go and have a look on your charts and study it for yourself, where the price has triggered, in other words, told us, yeah, we're long, and you have a pullback, and you do exactly what I've just shown you. Watch the pullback, make sure it doesn't confirm. If it had confirmed against itself, in other words, broken through and closed the low of that one, then you would want to see a new M5 reversal to the long side, then watch the M1, and so on and so forth, and make sure it doesn't reverse against itself. So that's a little lesson on watching the reversals and entering the trades. Here you could have used the this is a 1 minute chart now. You could have also added the trademark, if you like, trend line reversal on there. And here you will see now, if we put a level on top of this candle here, that will probably be that 5 minute inside bar. Let's highlight it because it is getting a bit messy now. And that will probably be the second 5 minute chart bar I told you with the high high. Oops. Here's our highlighted level there on M5, and at that point we hadn't had that breakout. We couldn't do the song low, high, higher, low. We couldn't sing the higher high bit. It isn't an uptrend until that there has happened. In other words, the high of that candle is broken by a new high with a higher low. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Might be over technical, might be a bit complicated, so watch the video a few times. But I don't mention these two phenomena enough. When we haven't got the 3 candle reversal against us, then we just want to see it reverse from a downtrend, and we could look at that on the line chart and you'll see it clearly on the 1 minute. There's the downtrend. Whoops. There's the downtrend there. High, low, lower, high. That did make a lower low there, but it doesn't matter. It made the low there. And then we need to see an uptrend in place. Low, high, higher, low. That's got broken. That was the highlighted level I showed you. Once that's broken, we're good to get back in. And you can see on the M1, you even had a bust up, pullback, break and close trigger as well. So a couple of different little phenomena there, how to get into using the 1 minute trend reversal trademark, if you like. And the important point of this video was this situation with H1. If you come back to your charts, or you happen to find a chart, if you might be trading H4 or the daily or something, and you see this situation where you've had a valid trigger, you understand what I'm talking about, bust up, pull back, break and close above the bust, and you've got you're below the trigger candle, then it's like all your Christmases and birthdays come in one go. Alright, I didn't mean to make this video quite so lengthy or in detail, but I hope that gives you something to think about, and then you can go and study these situations on your charts. These aren't ideal because of the volatility. You would want it to be nice and low and then a bust up through the 20 level and so on, but this makes its own rules, this currency or pair, whatever you want to call it. It is just bonkers. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good Saturday. What am I up to? I want to save the video, don't I?